Hello class, welcome to our ICT 1 class. This class is basically meant for a group of students who are doing secretarial studies. This is certificate module 1. And if it is not, because it's single and group, I don't want to talk about modules because I know you are doing single and group. So single and group level 1, and also we have diploma single and group level 2. So it is called ICT 1, it's different from the other common unit ICT. In this case, it is focusing majorly for secretarial group. Secretarial group in this case. So what about ICT? Introduction to ICT. Of course, you've met ICT, you've interacted with things to do with ICT. Like now you have things, maybe you have a phone, you have a laptop, you have a desktop. You've communicated one way or the other, you've sent an email one way or the other. So you've used ICT. But now, in our classroom environment, we want to focus so much on, as we journey together through the ICT 1, we're going to look at how ICT can help a secretarial group. How secretarial group, as a secretarial kind of department, can be able to use ICT. In organization, there is nowhere you can go without having basically a front office personnel. You cannot go in any office without having maybe somebody from what? A secretary. So it can be somebody serving as a front office personnel, or just as a personal secretary, for example. So these departments are very key so far as organizations are concerned. And therefore, we are going to look at how ICT can help this particular group of people in organization. So on introduction to ICT, I want to say that ICT is just an acronym. The word acronym. Acronym that stands for Information Communication Technology. So we are talking about Information Communication Technology. I stand for Information, C Communication, T Technology. Information Communication Technology that involves the use of computer technology. It involves the use of computer technology. It also involves the use of mobile technology and also telecommunication technologies. These are three critical technologies that are also used in ICT. So that involve the use of computer technology, mobile technology, telecommunication technology in order to achieve a given objective in an organization. Each and every organization must have its own goals and objectives. And therefore, for them to realize their goals and objectives, then they need to use what? Embrace the use of ICT. If they embrace the use of ICT, then they are going to realize their goals, also objectives. Because now ICT will be able to make work much more easier. It's going to improve the efficiency and effectiveness in terms of delivering services to different customers or to themselves also as an organization. So in a nutshell, what I'm saying under ICT is just a short term that stands for Information Communication Technology, and therefore it also involves the use of computer technology. All of us know computers. It also involves the use of mobile technology. You have smartphones and the rest. It also involves the use of telecommunication technology for the purpose of communication in our day-to-day activities, especially in the business environment, to achieve a given goal or objective. So that's more over ICT. Then somebody might ask themselves about what? The importance of ICT. Why are you talking about ICT? Why do we need to embrace the use of ICT? How is it going to really help us? Is it because, of course, the initial cost of investing in ICT can be high? Why do you need to buy a laptop? Why do you need to have the desktops in an office? Why do you need to have these laptops in an office? Why do you need to have smartphones in an office? And yet they are expensive. So, one, we need to achieve our goal objective. One of them is what? Communication. So how do we achieve communication without them? So the moment you have ICT or ICTs, any of them, maybe computers, mobile phones, or telecommunications, of course, you need to communicate to your customers. Front office personnel, secretary, how do you communicate to your boss? How do you communicate to other people or stakeholders? Or how do you communicate to your customers if, for example, you don't have a phone, a mobile phone? If, for example, you don't have a laptop, maybe to send an email. So communication is very key and very critical in all aspects. Then you also have storage of data. For example, in our situation in King's College, we have a group of students doing different courses at different levels. And therefore, the data about this particular student need to be captured somewhere. So you can end up being tasked to store information about all the students. Front office personnel, you've admitted students. How many students have you admitted? Which courses are they doing? When did you admit them? So all that information, storage of data. Even in business setup, what kind of products do you have? What the quantity supplied? What the quantity sold? What is the remaining quantities in the store? What kind of items do you have? What are the facilities? What are the number of facilities? What are their names? What are their sizes? What are the qualities, quantity, price? So all that, secretarial group, front office, you need ICT to help you part of that. Security, we've embraced the use of, for example, the CCTV. Organizations are invested on CCTVs, for example. CCTV stand for closed circular closed circuit television. Closed circuit television or TV. So why do we need this? They are connected, for example, with a central machine, or the CCTVs, for example, connected to a central office so that a central computer, so that at least we can be able to monitor the security within a given building or a business setup. For example, supermarket, how people are moving in, some people are tempted, maybe you're hungry, you want to pick something, you eat, thinking that you're not being monitored, yet you have the CCTVs connected to computers, and the front office personnel can be able to monitor what's happening in that case. Or the customer care desk. For example, in supermarket, you have customer care desk. Who sits there? People like yourself doing secretarial studies, for example. Who are the secretary? People like yourself who are doing secretarial course. Front office, the same people. So we need the same ICT to help us now to ensure that the security is actually monitored. Whenever there is an issue, for example, if there is a terror threat, the front people pass through the same office first of all, your office, before they go to another level. So at least it's also going to help you to monitor security. What about sharing of information? We need this data. Maybe from there, you've already admitted students. If you are a front office personnel, for example, then this data you don't remain with them. You need to forward them to the accounts department, for example, or to academic departments. How do you share that data? Do you carry it physically? Do you have a group of files which of course can be lost? You can easily omit them, or you can easily be toned. So in that case, the ICT is going to help you to share this information through networking. You can easily forward them because you've told them somewhere. So you can easily forward them to the next level by using an email, for example. You can compose an email, attach a file, forward them to ICT. So with those few remarks, in the next class we're going to focus on the history of computers. In the next class we're going to discuss about historical development of computers. But for now, let us call it a day. We'll meet in the next session. Have a good day. Thank you.